All right, girls. So, we have our friends who are going to be listening to the story over here. They're not live. They'll be live with us tomorrow. But this also is the very first time we're going to read this book. So we need to have those listening ears on and our voices quiet so everybody has a turn to hear what the story's about and see the pictures. So we stay in our spots, right? Because at circle, I sit on my bottom. I look at the teacher. I listen with my ears. And I have nice. Great job. And what should our voices be? Lion. What do you think, Maggie?
Quiet.
Quiet, yeah. Which animal would be quiet?
Cat.
A cat. We use our cat voice when we're playing. And a whisper when we're whispering. And does a snake talk?
No.
So which voice should we be using?
Snake.
The snake for story read 1. We should be using snake. Because when my voice is on at circle, I need your voice to be
off.
Fabulous. Off. So now that we are ready to go with some circle rules, this is our new book. The title is Hooray, a Piñata. Piñata. That's an interesting word. So a piñata is like a big decoration. Usually it's made of cardboard and tissue paper. And inside the piñata is usually like prizes. Sometimes there's candy, sometimes there's little toys. And what you do is at a celebration, you hang it up, and then everybody has a turn to whack it, to break it open. Sometimes people wear blindfolds so they can't see, and they get spun around, and then they try to hit it. Then it's a little harder to break it open so more children can have a turn. So if we look here on the cover, I see, yes.
We did that, one time we did with Daddy with a piñata with candy in it.
You've done a piñata before, I love that.
We all got candy. Molly got candy and Connie got candy.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Did you share some with Dad?
Mm-hmm.
Lovely, I
Did
love
Molly
it.
get some?
So right here, I see that there's a birthday cake. It says happy birthday. And it is Clara's birthday. Here is Clara. Right here is Clara and the birthday cake. And over here, I see a piñata. Piñata is sitting on the table. I'm also noticing something up here in the tree. What do you think that could be?
I don't know.
Let's read and find out what this, if you look really, really close, it's kind of hard to see. Looks like a storm cloud. It looks like maybe streamers are hanging down. So there's something in the tree. And then they have the piñata sitting on the table. Let's see. Eliza Clevin wrote the words, so she's the author. And she drew the pictures, so she is the illustrator. Let's find out what her story is about. Oh. Looks like right here we have Clara and her friend. Looks like they're in a store. Do you see anything that maybe you can make a prediction about looking at this picture? That looks very familiar. So this is a pretty long story. So we're going to try to do our best to get through all of it. But if we have to put in a bookmark, we can put in a bookmark and then finish it up again later. All right? So here we start right here. Looks like Clara is in the sandbox with her friend Samson. Clara's birthday was coming. I'm going to have a cake at my party, she told her friend Samson. Of course you'll have a cake, said Samson. There's always cakes at birthday parties. And I'm going to have balloons, Clara said. Everyone has balloons, said Samson. And I'm going to have a piñata too, Clara added proudly. Mama's taking me to pick one out this morning. Want to come? Hooray, a piñata! Samson clapped his hands. Yay! I love piñatas.
Me too.
Oh, it's a busy street. They're now on the way to the store. I love piñatas too, said Clara, as her mother led them to the piñata store. I love to fill them with candy. I love to whack them, Samson said. And smack them and crack them, said Clara. I'm noticing some body parts outside of our space zones. Ooh, and mash them and smash them and break them, said Samson. And watch the candy fall, Clara said. And eat the candy, shouted Samson. A very busy street. Nice job sitting still, Maggie. I'm proud of you. There were so many piñatas to choose from. Donkeys, dinosaurs, peacocks, stars, robots, and ice cream cones. Lions and lambs, all ruffly and fluffy. Look at all them. There were even some monster piñatas. Samson made a face at a big, jagged one. Ooh, jagged. It wasn't smooth. It was very bink, 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 jagged. Samson made he made a face. Get this scary thundercloud monster, Clara. A thunderstorm monster? Clara shook her head. I like this one. The little dog. Can I have him, Mama? Okay. Maybe we can take some time later and we can look at all the different piñatas that are options for Clara in the piñata store. If that's the one you want, said her mother. He's the one, said Clara. That dog is so small, he won't hold very much candy, Samson told her. I like him, though, said Clara. He's a good little dog, the piñata vendor said as he lifted the piñata down. Clara took the dog in her arms. He was light and soft, and he smelled like newspaper. Clara petted the dog's curly fur as she carried him home. I think I'll name him Lucky. He looks like a Lucky, said Samson. He's a good little dog. We can take him to the park for a picnic. Mom wants me home for lunch, replied Samson. And you should save a piñata for your birthday party. You don't want to get it all wrecked. It won't get wrecked. Don't worry, Clara assured him.
Whose socks are you wearing today?
We can talk about whose socks I'm wearing later. They're mine. At home, Clara gave Lucky a bowl of crunchy brown cereal because it looked a little bit like dog food. Lucky seemed to enjoy it. You need to stop laughing, Miss Seams. You're distracting me. I wonder where that came from, though. When he had eaten, Clara made him a collar and a leash and took him for a walk. Along the way, they stopped to greet people and other dogs and to smell bushes, flowers, and trees.
I'm going to go put my sneakers on.
Why don't we wait until after story read?
Then, they came home and dug a deep hole in the sandbox. What are you doing to that poor piñata? Samson called from across the fence. Lucky's digging, Clara told him. He's getting all dirty, Samson replied. He'll shake himself clean. Clara, honey, called her mother. Shake yourself clean and go get your sweater. We're going to Grandma's for dinner. See you, Clara, Samson said. Take care of that piñata. I will, Clara promised. She held Lucky tight as the car sped across the city. Lucky sniffed the air with its many smells, salty, oily, bready, sweet. His ears flapped in the wind. So Lucky went home and played, and now Lucky's getting in the car and heading to Grandma's.
Who's Lucky?
Grandma was waiting for them on her porch. Look, I got a dog, Claire ran to show her. What a good little dog, Grandma patted him. So quiet and clean. I have to keep him clean because he's really a piñata, said Claire. if you bathe him, his fur would fall off. But you can brush him. So they went inside the house, and you can keep him warm. She gave Clara a small crocheted blanket. And here's a little spending money just for you. Thanks, Grandma. Clara hugged her. Oh, so she went to visit her grandma, and Grandma even gave her some money. She knew what she would spend her money on. Dog biscuits and a ride on the merry-go-round near Grandma's house. After dinner, they walked there together. As the horses galloped around and around, Clara pretended that she and Lucky were flying. Oh, she's making believe. This next page, look at this. Let's look at this picture first before I read it. So remember, she is pretending. So she's imagining, she's making things up in her head. They flew in Clara's dream that night. A dream is a lot like imagining something, but you're sleeping. And on her swing the next morning, Missy got a little confused. So on the swing the next morning, she was still pretending that they were flying. They ate cheese sandwiches together and listened to stories and bicycled around the block with Samson. Careful with that piñata, Samson yelled as they raced down the hill. Don't worry, Samson. He's safe. That afternoon, Clara and Samson made paper hats for everyone who was coming to her party the next day. Clara made a little hat for Lucky. You like that piñata so much, Samson said. It's going to be sad when you have to stuff him with candy and break him.
Where's the pizza back?
Clara's eyes filled with tears. I don't want anyone to break him, she said. You mean you won't have a piñata at your party? Asked Samson. No candy? We can have candy in bowls, Clara suggested, though she knew it didn't sound like much fun. Samson sighed. You should have a real dog, Clara. Maybe I could get you a puppy for your birthday. I can't have a real dog, Clara said. Dogs and cats make my mother sneeze. They do? That's too bad. I'll have to get you something else then, Samson said. What? Asked Clara. I'm not sure yet. I'll think of something good. I see Mom is making a list of things to buy at the store. We've done a lot of that.
Look, we're doing it today.
So, this is the next morning, girls. And I'm going to take a little bookmark here. I'm going to stick that in so we can find out a little bit later what is going to happen the next morning at Clara's party. So I'm going to close it off here. Before we go, why is Clara taking this piñata everywhere? Why is she feeding the piñata?
Because it's hungry.
Is the piñata really hungry?
No.
No. Why do you think she's feeding it if it's not really hungry?
I don't know.
Is she pretending something with it?
Uh-huh.
What is she pretending? That it's
A real dog.
that it's a real dog. Awesome. And then I was wondering as I was reading, Grandma, when Clara went to Grandma's house, Grandma said that maybe it needed a bath, and Clara said that it couldn't go in the bath because it would get wrecked. Why would a piñata get wrecked if it got wet?
Because the hair will go away.
Because the hair will go away. You're right. Because is it real hair?
No.
No. What do you think the piñata's made out of? Do you remember what Clara said it smelled like?
Newspaper.
Newspaper. You're right. It does smell like newspaper. So a piñata is usually made out of newspaper or scraps of paper. So what would happen if you put paper and water.
It's gonna come off.
Yeah, it gets all wrecked. Maybe we can try some of that later today. So in our small groups, we can put some water on a paper or put paper in a water, and we can see what would happen if Clara put her piñata in the water. I cannot wait to visit this in just a little bit to finish up. We are almost done, but those squirms and wiggles were getting the best of us. So I think this is a wonderful place to stop. We will continue. Before we go home today, we will read the rest of this and find out what's going to happen at Clara's birthday. Is she going to choose to have Lucky be a piñata and everyone's going to whack him and he'll fall apart and break? Samson said that he was going to buy her a really good gift. What might that be?
Dog.
You think a dog? Well, her mom sneezes around dogs, so she's probably allergic to dogs.
Am
I can't wait to find out. We're gonna have to read this. All right, but we'll pause it. We'll go over, get some food in our bellies. But first, this background of the picture is yellow. Who's wearing yellow? Can you go wash your hands? And then, this birthday cake, it's a color purple. Miss E has not had enough coffee today, girls. Ay, 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 my brain's just like, it's either a step behind or a step ahead. I can't focus.
I want purple.
You, you do have some purple. You do, on your letters, just like Clara's hat. But I was wondering about this color, pink. You have pink too, yeah. Perfect, you can go wash your hands. All right, so we will record the rest of this later and share it out then.